This is not a love letter, you just wouldn't call me back. It would make me feel better if you picked up all your slack. This is not a love letter, so don't call it that. But if I wrote a love letter, would you be mine?
Good morning. I have a very exciting job on today, which I thought I could bring you along with me. Stylist magazine, which is very exciting, reached out to me a couple of days ago via my agent, and they've asked if I would like to create an original piece for them for an article inspired by Claude Monet's lily paintings, his water lilies, which I absolutely love. Monet is a huge influence on my own use of colour. But what's really cool about this piece is it's going to be made entirely using watercolour makeup, which is apparently a new trend in the beauty world. So yeah, instead of paints, I'm going to be literally painting with makeup to create a piece of my own inspired by Monet's lilies, which I just think that's such a dreamy brief. And I don't know, I feel like my creative spark has really come back since getting this job in, because I've mainly been working digitally, which is usually how I work for clients because you can change things easily. I think I've got into this in previous videos, but yeah, I've been mainly working digitally on all my book covers and things like that. So I'm really excited to just have a day in the studio working with my hands. Although you say that, I feel like the language around illustration is not quite right, because hand-drawn, I never feel like that's quite the right term, because when you're drawing on your iPad, you're still drawing with your hands. So I feel like that kind of does it a disservice. I feel like we need new terminology around hand-drawn versus digital, because yeah, drawing digitally is still drawing with your hands. Anyway, side note. I'm looking forward to going back into the studio and yeah, working with physical materials, getting really messy. I don't know, I haven't had this feeling in ages, so I'm just excited to like see what comes from it. Also working with something completely different that I've never worked before, working with makeup. And yeah, I feel like it's just going to be a fun process, so I'm excited to bring you along with me. I feel like we're going to do it in 3 days, 3 stages. So today is all about the research. I've got all my reference images of Monet. I'm going to be coming up with colour palettes, just using my pencils and paints and things like that for now, because the makeup hasn't arrived yet, and then the makeup should be arriving over the weekend. So then I'll do a whole kind of experimenting, getting to grips with the materials and using the makeup to paint with. And then next week, once my sketch is approved, which we're going to be making the sketch today, I'll go on to making the final full piece, which is going to be quite big. It's going to be just a little bit bigger than A3, and then I'll photograph it for them to use in the article. It's quite a quick turnaround with editorial, so I'm literally doing all of this within the space of 1 week. So research today, experimenting with materials over the weekend, painting the piece next week. It's very go, go, go. It's just fun not knowing where it's going to go, exactly how it's going to look. I've got kind of ideas bubbling away in the background, but we'll just see what comes out when I'm at my desk in the studio. So yeah, I'm excited and let's get going. Good morning, it is now Thursday and I've just had a very exciting delivery. All the makeup has arrived from Stylist magazine, which is literally, look at this. Those huge 3 boxes are filled entirely with makeup, which is so exciting. Don't mind my carol singing mice as well. They stayed out until July last year. They were knitted by my nana and yeah, I just like having them out. She's even got little tiny notes inside her hymn book. We're a little bit later than planned. I was supposed to get the boxes on Saturday, but some of the makeup has come all the way from America. So we've pushed the schedule back a bit, and yeah, when I got the list through of everything that's included in the makeup, it's honestly so exciting. And I think I get to keep like what I don't use, like as in if I've used a bit of it, then I just get to keep it. So very exciting. Everything is packaged by colour, so I'm just opening the first one now, and it says green. So this bag is purely full of green makeup. Pink. So green, pink, purple. And then here we've got blues and natural tones and oranges, but there's just so many products. I honestly, this feels like Christmas. We've got stuff from Glossier and Charlotte Tilbury and these Elia pens, which I've been wanting to try for ages. This one is green, which isn't something I'd probably go for on my eyes. This I think will work really well in the artwork though. It's like a kind of pastel. But yeah, for my eyes, I'm hoping somewhere in here there'll be the kind of like shimmery gold one that I've seen online, which looks so nice and flattering. And there's also like a rosy gold one as well that I really like. This pen as well I think is going to be really good. It's called Colour Tattoo. Nice and thick and kind of chalky. I feel like that's going to be really vibrant on the page. And then this one that I spotted, look at this when we open it up. I guess it's like a liquid liner, and that is going to be perfect for all the fine details on the top, bringing everything together. I can't wait to make with all of these. Okay, so I've just been playing around with making some palettes on my hand, and honestly these products are so nice to draw with. I feel like a lot of the liners kind of mimic that coloured pencil feel, obviously, and then you've got more thicker ones that give the kind of creaminess of a pastel. Like, how nice is that coming out? We've got the rosy pinks in the green bushes, the little purples and blues of the other flowers coming through, and yeah, I'm just really excited to get going. There's some really nice shimmery ones as well, like this Glossier stick. I honestly can't believe I have all these to work with. This is absolutely crazy. But that's like a lip gloss, but yeah, I didn't even think about bringing like a shimmeriness in, which will obviously be possible. Charlotte Tilbury. And this is like a palette that I would use anyway. If this was like a paint palette, I'd be so happy with that. I love kind of pinkies, purples together. I've not seen any reds so far, but there is a lot. So it's going to take me a while to choose all the materials that I'm actually going to use. Got a lovely blue shimmery kind of silver pencil there. What does that come out like? Ooh, that's nice, like a kind of smoky silver. All of these colours are already looking so lovely together, but I think we should get ready and go to the studio now. is now about a week later and it's time to show you the final artwork, which is very exciting. It's turned out better than I was hoping, to be honest. If I'm being completely honest, on the morning when I was opening all the products, as exciting as it was, I was having a bit of a freak out because when I was just testing things out, I was thinking, is this going to be any good? Am I going to be able to make something that I'm proud of? But yeah, it's really surprised me, and I honestly think I would be happy with this as a normal print of an artwork that I'd made with pastels and paints and things like that. So I'm really happy, and the editor loves it too, so much so that they've kind of rethought how they're gonna display it. Yeah, I had some really nice feedback, which was really nice because I honestly feel sick every time I submit my work. I think, oh my gosh, the client's gonna hate it, like what am I gonna do? Particularly with this, there's nothing I could really do to change it because you're working with original materials, but they did love it, which was an amazing feeling. And it was originally going to be, I'll show you a proper close-up in a minute, but it was originally going to be, this would be the kind of full page spread with kind of writing on top inside the magazine. I sent them some behind the scenes photos of my studio, which as you saw earlier was just covered in makeup. And they said, oh, we really like the feel of this, so we're going to get your artwork professionally photographed, and they want the kind of beauty product tools poking in, like a still life, and that will be the image in the magazine, almost to have that kind of just finished feel with the products that I've used poking in. So I'm going to the photographer's studio in about 15 minutes. He's a guy that they found that lives locally called Ted, not my Ted, different Ted. So I'm going to his studio. I'm going to take all my products with me as well, all my reference Monet pictures, and yeah, I honestly think this has been one of the most exciting projects that I've done. I feel like it's really reignited a creative spark inside me that I didn't really realise had been dulled for quite a while. I think working with physical materials in my studio, something that I've never worked with or done before, painting with makeup. It's just been a really fun challenge, and I've honestly loved every minute. I feel like it felt like girlhood in my studio earlier, just surrounded by all these makeup products. Just a dreamy job really. So maybe I'll take you with me to the photographer and I'll check back in a couple of weeks' time when the magazine goes to print and I get to pick it up, which will be so exciting.
Coffee started, don't remember much. All I know is that you talk too much. Time to go. Ba-ba-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum. You've got those big blue eyes, drive me crazy, make me fantasize about you, baby, and you smell so sweet, like fresh picked daisies. Call me Dahmer, 'cause your heart's so tasty. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum. And I watch you break like glass you shatter, said it's my man.